So, I tried recording a cheesy intro for this video about 50 times already, and I really just couldn't do it. I didn't have it in me. So instead I'm just going to say, hey, show my title card, and then get right on with the review. Hey guys, some call me Tim, and today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super Episode 1. Dragon Ball Super is the follow-up series of Dragon Ball Z, a classic anime that stars Goku and his friends in their many escapades to save the world from certain doom. Dragon Ball Super is the first new animation for Dragon Ball Z in a number of years. At the start of 2017, the English dub of the show started, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Episode 1 is titled A Peacetime Reward, Who Will Win the 100,000 Zeni? And it serves as more of an introductory episode to the rest of the series. In the episode, we see Goku on a radish farm, farming and trying to live a normal life after the events of Dragon Ball Z. He's trying to do his job, and then he eventually takes a break and decides to train, because he's Goku and he loves to train. Eventually, his son Goten brings him some food, so he decides to take a actual break from doing his work and eat some food. While Goku's eating, Goten decides to take the tractor for a ride and eventually ends up driving it off the side of the mountain that he's working on. Goku, though, being one of the strongest beings in existence, decides to just save him, grab it, put it back up. No harm, no foul. Only in the Sun family. Later on, we cut to a distant planet where we see the two new characters for this series, Beerus, the god of destruction, and his attendant Whis, enjoying some food. Beerus and Whis' character tropes are basically that they love food and will basically shirk off their duties as long as they have good food. Beerus, for the most part, likes the food, but finds that the dessert was greasy. So instead of destroying the entire planet, he destroys half of it. That's Beerus. Get used to it, that's the character. Beerus is awesome. I actually really like the two characters. But more on them a little bit later. Back on Earth, we see Mr. Satan at a press conference where, as always, he's touting how he's the champion, he's the best, and he will defend the world from any sorts of harm. And then Majin Buu shows up. At the end of Dragon Ball Z, there was a wish conducted with the Dragon Balls, basically stating that nobody will remember the events of what happened with Majin Buu and what Majin Buu did. So nobody actually remembers who Majin Buu is in this scene. In order to cover himself, Hercule convinces the press that he's a space being that has come to be a disciple of Hercule's fighting style. Ah, God, gotta love Dragon Ball. The next major plot point we see is Goten and Trunks trying to find a marriage present for Videl and Gohan. Gohan is Goten's older brother who got married at the end of Dragon Ball Z. They decide to find her some bath water, but don't exactly understand what it is. So they go to a shop to find that it's way more expensive than they ever anticipated it to be. And of course, because they're kids, they don't have any budget, so they can't do it. After asking around town a little bit, they decide to go to a hot spring and get the water from there. Being that this is Dragon Ball, however, nothing ever goes off without a hitch. Later, we see Goten and Trunks fighting an oversized snake. Because again, it's Dragon Ball. What do you expect? Goten and Trunks then have to juggle fighting this gigantic snake while making sure the water they just collected doesn't spill. Goten and Trunks finally succeed in defeating the snake and bring their present back to Videl. Videl realizes that it's just regular spring water, but doesn't care. She still congratulates the boys and says that they did a great job getting her a present, because she's a nice person. She'd be kind of a jerk if she didn't. Finally, we see Mr. Satan find Goku in his radish patch, because he wants to give Goku the peacetime reward that he wants. Mr. Satan says he wants to give it to Goku because he believes Goku deserves it because he's the one who actually saved the world, and because Mr. Satan has more money than he knows what to do with, being one of the richest men in the world. Goku initially refuses because he just doesn't value money as highly as other people do, but then Mr. Satan tells him that Vegeta already rejected it, so you're the only one left that I could really feel like giving it to. So Goku eventually accepts. Goku then brings the money to Chi-Chi, and Chi-Chi is overjoyed. Chi-Chi is so overjoyed, in fact, that when Goku goes to ask her about training with King Kai, she says, yeah, sure, just come back once every 6 months or something, just stop in. Being Goku, of course, takes her up on this offer and decides to go to train with King Kai, thus concluding the episode. Overall, this is a fine introduction to the series. We get to see the Z Fighters, or at least some of them, adapting to their new lives. Some better than others. Goku doesn't really want to adapt to his life, and all he really wants to do is train. So by the end of the episode, he gets what he wants. In terms of what I liked about the episode, I love Beerus and Whis. I love the voice actors in this English dub. Bonus points to Christopher Sabat, the voice director for the series, that really pushes the voice actors to get the best performance. Sean Schemmel's performance as Goku is one of the most iconic anime performances. I'm glad to see he still has the character nailed down in this new iteration. My only criticism is, for some fans of this series, it may be a little low on action. Dragon Ball Z was mostly about action, while its progenitor, Dragon Ball, was a lot more about the comedy and a lot more about the world. I feel like Dragon Ball Super is trying to find a happy medium between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. It wants the action of Dragon Ball Z with the humor of Dragon Ball, and I feel like they're striking a good balance here. This episode serves as more of a setup for future episodes rather than an episode of climactic importance itself. I can't wait to see more from Beerus and Whis. I can't wait to see Goku get stronger, and I can't wait to see all the epic fights that are going to come out of this series. If you're a Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z fan, you at least owe it to yourself to check this out. At least it's better than GT so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please consider giving me a comment or like down below. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. It only takes 1 or 2 clicks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. I'll never